Okay, before Coach gets into the NFL stuff, he has to. He botched the Georgia one. We'll just own it, right? So I said there was no sort of tricks. Clearly, they got some tricks. You had 42 to 80, and that's 22. My point is, what else, right? Like I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like there's not a single other one or two or anything you can add up that does anything, but there's no way 42 plus 80 and they win that is a coincidence, in my opinion, right? Now, as far as, like they do seem to like the number two. And, um, let's see how long I had. Could have sworn there was. Oh yeah, if you flip the 42, of course that's a 24, which is scary. We know they're hosting. I already said that, but like I'm just telling you, man. Like it definitely could be them. There's something about it. There's a lot going on. It's almost like this one. It seems like more obvious, but the other one's got the better tricks. It's got the better story. Like, what's the heart here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. I mean, yeah, Georgia has struggled this year, and them winning it would be, a tribute to, how hard they fought this year. But I just don't understand how Georgia fits into anything at all. Like all the other schools and stuff I can think of, like it seems to make perfect sense. But like, who's dancing with Georgia? I'm not saying there's nobody to do it, but I'm saying I don't know who the fuck it is, right? And I could totally see Georgia like beating Alabama or something like that and then losing. You know what I mean? Like they mostly seem like a scare you school, but at the same time, they're not being built up as scary, right? If they're a scare you school, you'd almost expect one loss or none. So really hard to say. But yeah, I'm down between these two teams. I might actually have to hedge it, but that doesn't mean I don't fully believe it's Ohio State. It's just I also fully believe that I will have a business having a 100% pick on this one. So I do have to say, probably going to put some money on Georgia as well. Coach's bankroll, that's only like a couple dollars, right? Like we're not going crazy on them, but we don't want Georgia winning instead of Ohio State to fuck up our chances at millions of dollars, right? So coach is gonna run like it ain't nothing but Lions Browns. You can believe that. Not a single fucking ticket. It says Chiefs or Steelers or any of that dumb shit. It's brownies on every single fucking one. And Lions don't fucking pay. So if I have to take one off, I take the fucking Lions off and I put the Browns on there. That's how confident I am in the Browns. This Ohio State pick, it couldn't be going any better for us since we've been following. You know, they beat really good Indiana team. They lost a team, the only team that would realistically like hurt their standings and give us better odds. So the value is in either, right? Like they're 5 and 6 seed. They're gonna give you good odds on either. Trust your gut on this one if you feel like you just absolutely know college football and you know the rivalries and you're like, oh, the Bulldogs got this other team sitting over here. There's no way they're passing that up. If you know some shit like that, it might be the Bulldogs, right? But um, man, it's not nearly as good as Ohio State, but it could be good enough. And I personally, like, I just feel like my reasons wouldn't be good enough for other people. Like, I just can't possibly accept that Ohio State winning in 57 and 68 was a coincidence when those were the two numbers we've been looking for the whole fucking time, right? So I've got to go Ohio State, but I'm just telling you, you're probably wise to have at least one hedge in with a Georgia team if you're betting coaches' picks. What actually scared me was they almost broke Penn State's overtime record with an 8 overtime victory. Now, that's certainly the type of story that would be good on a national champion's resume. Uh, it is weird that they're like battling to the death to a better team, whereas Ohio State just drops it to Michigan. I mean, they were both like hard, close fought games, right? But Georgia needed the win; they pulled it out. Ohio State didn't necessarily need it, and they blew it, right? So there are some reasons to like Georgia for sure. As far as them versus the Nittany Lions, they've only faced off twice, and they've split. I still have to say, this certainly smells like a bluff. It really does. But when there's so much, like, ain't no way it just happens to be in Georgia this year. At the very least, they know some people are flipping the championship years and they're trying to throw them off. That's the bare minimum, right? Or it really is in for fucking Georgia right now, right? So I'm just saying, just because it smells like a bluff doesn't mean coach can call it down. There's a lot of times he's like, man, this fucking reeks, and he still has to throw his fucking cards in because he's just missing that one little bit of information that he needed, right? So coach talks about feeling, all that sort of stuff. His feelings are informed by information. The more information we get and we analyze properly, the better we fucking feel about it. We are severely lacking information on the college football front. We simply know Georgia and Ohio State both not impossible to win the championship this year. That's all we need to know we have to bet both. That doesn't mean you have to bet them equally. I'm certainly going to take heavier action on Ohio State. But I will certainly, like I mentioned, there will be some coach hedge picks, unfortunately, on college football that say Georgia. But the good news there is they expanded the playoff bracket, right? It's still like you still have pretty low odds, right? It's like one in 6 or something like that, right? What is it, 12 teams? 12 sounds right. Right, so like you get 1 in 6 chances, right? So we'd much rather do the 1 in 12. And we still feel good about that, but I'm not going to be feeling good at all if this Georgia team is like a Kansas City Chiefs team and we don't know if it's last year or this year, right? Are they bluffing or they actually got the green light? This team's won 2 championships a couple years ago. They're clearly can't be too far into any sort of curse. If they're cursed or something, it just fucking started, okay? And they definitely could have one more coming their way soon, okay? That being said, I'm 90% sure it's Ohio State, but the 10% Georgia fucking terrifies me. Already did our weekly picks for the week. That's not what this video is. We're just focusing on coach's games of the week. These are the games that coach feels are actually worth watching, worth paying attention to. His number 1 game for today is, and I'm not saying it's going to be the best game. It's just the one we could really use some help from the Falcons on. We need Chargers losses to rack up in a hurry. Like, we only have one fucking win to give them the whole rest of the way because the damn Browns couldn't take care of them head to head, right? So they need to lose games they can and should lose. The Falcons are just about every bit as good as the Chargers. They don't have the elite defense the Chargers do, I don't believe, but they do have the more experienced quarterback, the more battle-tested quarterback. Kirk Cousins can do some really dumb stuff to lose you a game you should win. He can also pull out miracles, right? So no Chargers lead is safe with Kirk Cousins at the helm. That's why we like that he is hopefully starting. If Michael Penix is in or something, I might be a little nervous about this pick. But I'm assuming it's Cousins. Let's go ahead. Let's actually dig into this one a little bit more. Let's see. Chargers, Falcons. Let's see. Wait, hold up, what? Dude, check that shit out. On this day, Vic gave the Falcons a walk-off win. Obviously, that doesn't always mean shit, right? We already found that out with the Brownies hard way a couple weeks back against the Saints. So, can't get too excited about that. Falcons inactives today. Kicker, huh? Okay, so their kicker's not going to be there. So I expect that to lead to some sort of scenario where the Falcons are going for a win when they would usually just be playing for overtime or something. Oh, check this out. Chargers defense is shorthanded against the dangerous Falcons offense. Okay, so we have a narrative we like there. Nice. Moving on. Okay. Then Bengals, Steelers, you already know, like, we have to care about the Chargers game more because they absolutely need losses. And we really ultimately don't give a shit what these two teams do. But we do want to see the Steelers going down in flames. And we do want the Bengals getting in the playoffs to make our four AFC North teams get in. So, no doubt, we're rooting hard for the Bengals today. It just really doesn't matter to the Browns like this game does. Okay? So, Coach is going to be watching every second of this game and casually flipping over to the Steelers' misery in this one. Okay? So, they did us the disservice of having these both on at 1 o'clock. I would have much preferred the Steelers-Bengals one to be the 1 o'clock and this Chargers Falcons to be the 4 o'clock. It'd be really nice to get warmed up with the Steelers Bengals and then get into the good stuff. But they're so on us all at once. Probably not going to get like any of the games in my area, so I'm going to have to find a way to steal it. Now, last 1 o'clock game today, or last Sunday game that we care about. This has to be the best game of the week as far as like skill level. These are two teams that, one's been to the championship game last year. We got the Eagles in the NFC Championship this year. Eagles made the Super Bowl a couple years back. They have some sort of weird, like, it's almost like the Ravens or the AFC Eagles almost. Not quite. Like, they don't have, like, the history or anything like that, but it's just kind of like the same type of vibe. Ravens are probably a little bit more ghetto. Eagles are a little bit more flashy. But a lot of similarities between, like, the fan bases and the styles of play. I mean, Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick, right? You get it. So, most exciting matchup, most talented matchup. If you're just trying to watch good fake football, this is probably the one to watch. I would have to take the Ravens here, but certainly not attached to any result. Even if they fall to 8-5 with 5 left to wait, 8-5, so making 13 with 4 left to play, they can still get to 12 wins. We don't need the Ravens to like go ape shit or anything. Like, I would love for them to like get. Actually, they got a Browns loss coming up. Give me this Eagles. Give me the Ravens beating the Eagles here for sure. Now then tomorrow is the only game of the week anybody should care about. That's why it's on Monday Night Football, despite one of the teams being 3-8 going on the road. Our Brownies are going to absolutely humiliate the Broncos, and we're here for it. So appreciate you for watching. This is Coach.